Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you are welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. The parasha that I'm going to discuss about this morning is called Parasha Yitro. Yitro is the father-in-law of Moshe, the high priest of Midian. All right, but as I was just telling you earlier, that the parasha in which the Lord God of our fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, gave his 10 words. That is the same parasha that is named after non-Hebrew person. The parasha is named after Yitro, the father-in-law of Moshe, who is a Midianite, not a Hebrew person. Can you see that? As I said, that as Torah said, that the Israelites might be as what? As many as the sand of the sea, but only few of them will be saved. Only a remnant will be saved. He said, if Lord God has not been righteous, if the Lord God has not been what has not been faithful, that Israel will have perished. But because God remembered his promise to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, so God said, I'm going to save the remnant of Israel. And I subtitle the parasha of this morning as, what kind of person was Moshe Rabbeinu? What kind of person was Rabbeinu Moshe? What kind of person is this man? This man that everybody is, remember that Moshe Rabbeinu is the master narrative. Is the master narrative of our tradition. And so therefore, what kind of person is this man? How can I relate with this man? And I glorify the Lord my God that the Torah is so true, the Torah is so faithful, that the Torah does not whitewash, does not repaint Moshe as some kind of a god. No! Moshe was a human being like me and you. And Moshe made mistakes. And Torah wants us to understand the mistake of Moshe, so that we will not make the same mistake. Moshe has a dark side, and we want to understand this dark side of Moshe. Remember, everything is balanced. So what kind of dark side is the dark side of Moshe that many people doesn't want to talk about? When you try to bring it up, some of our rabbis say, oh, no, don't say that. Some of the rabbis say, oh, no, you are talking heresy. No. Because they want to turn this man into a god. And Moshe is not a god. Moshe is a human being like me and you. And Moshe definitely had a dark side. And we need to understand this dark side. What kind of person was Moshe Rabbeinu? And this actually I read from a rabbi called Rabbi M.J. Allen. So from his book. I want to share with you what he said, because to me, I think this is very, very relevant. We need to understand this. We need to look at the dark side of our prophet Moshe Rabbeinu, so that we, as his student, the student of the Torah that God gave to Moshe on Mount Sinai, we will not make the same mistake anymore, so that we can be able to amend our way and make sure that we have a sound, solid family. This is what Rabbi M.J. Allen said, that his first memorable encounter with Moshe Rabbeinu occurred on his first day of kindergarten in Denver, in Colorado, in the United States, in his class at Hillel Academy. Each of them were giving their names to their teacher, Morah Toby. And they are Hebrew names, okay? By the time the name circle came to him, he undoubtedly was misbehaving, of course, when he proudly pronounced or proclaimed that his name is Moshe. That is his Hebrew name. My name is Moshe. The teacher, Morah Toby, proceeded to tell him that Moshe was a very, very bad man. He didn't listen to God, and therefore he didn't make it into the promised land. He didn't enter into the promised land. Amazed and anger that his parents would have given him the name of a Rasha. He bursted into tears and became the only person in his class to go by his English name. he doesn't want to have anything to do with the name Moshe because of what the teacher said. No, don't even tell me, don't ever call me Moshe. My name is Ellen. I don't want you to tell me that my name is Moshe or anything that has to do with what? With Moshe. What Morah Toby was attempting to teach him at that moment was that in order to become a passionate Israelite, one needed to identify with the master narrative of our people and measure how well our personal narrative matched with that of the master narrative. To be faithful, not religious. To be obedient, not just mere observant. One made the assumption that the master narrative of our tradition was the vehicle by which one's personal life was defined. Remember, I will repeat again. To be faithful, not to be religious. Many people want to be religious. You know, I have a big car. My clothes is the most expensive, you know. My black clothes and everything, my suit, everything. Oh, you know, I'm a Jew, you know. My talit is, oh man, my tzitzit is as long as 10 kilometers. That doesn't help you to enter into the Garden of Eden. No. I have never seen in my life, neither have I ever heard that religion save a person. It will never be. Your faith save you. Abraham Avinu has no religion. The Torah said, and he believed in God, and it was counted to him as what? As righteousness. It was counted to God of his faith that he had. All our fathers, indeed, Isaac and Jacob, they have no religion. There is no Judaism at that time. Right? They have faith in God. Because of the basic promise, I will save you. I'm your God. If you believe, even though Jacob Avinu said, God, as if he was even having a doubt, right? He said, God, if you will guide me on this way that I am going, if you will provide me bread, if you will clothe me and return me back to my father's land, I will make you my God. I will give you 10 parts of everything that you have blessed me with, and I will worship you for the rest of my life. You see, and God did that unto him. And he came back and he gave a tent and he worshiped God for the rest of his life. So it is a faith. We don't have the religion. We have a faith in the Holy One, the God of our fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is not just mere being observant. You know, oh, today I pray 7 times a day. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, in the evening, oh, I do all the whole thing. I do 2 steps backward, 10 steps forward. I do all the rituals. I do all the formula. And so, therefore, yes, you know, I am what? I am a Hebrew person. You are wasting your time. It is not just being observant. Because some people are observing the wrong thing. They are not observing exactly what it is written in the Torah. They observe what their rabbis is telling them. Instead of them to observe what the Torah is saying. Not what one rabbi or the other said that doesn't follow or correspond with the Torah. Because I have never seen in the Torah where the Torah said that, you know what, a person, the same sex can be, can lead a synagogue. But we see them today, the so-called LGBT. I've never. So if you believe in that, and this is what your rabbi is saying, then therefore there's something wrong with your head, because that is not written in the Torah. The Torah said the man and the woman are family. So therefore you go search your head and check if you have something that is wrong with you, because I don't know what you smoke. Because the Torah does not tell me that. So this is what I'm saying. It is not just merely being observant, but being obedient to the Torah of Moshe that has given us on Mount Sinai by God. It is the Torah that we follow, not a man. It is the Torah that we follow, not a human being. It is the Torah of God from Mount Sinai that leads us into the world, back to the Garden of Eden. So, for example, why it was always possible to ask questions about Moshe's leadership of the community. Always possible to seek answer to Abraham's call or Sarah's laughter. We never asked in those days, what kind of person was this Moshe anyway? Was he a good father and a loving husband? Was Moshe a good father? Was Moshe a loving husband? What kind of person is Moshe Rabbeinu? It is not allowed to ask that question, because if you ask that question, you are what? You are heresy. You are talking nonsense. You are talking rubbish, because of those rabbis that want to do what? Remove the humanity of Moshe and cover him with a cloth like that of a god. No, Moshe is a human being like me and you, and Moshe as a human being makes his own mistake, and so therefore that is why it is written in the Torah, so that we should not repeat that mistake in our own life. The question of that sort were considered what? Irrelevant. They are considered extraneous. They are considered unrelated. Don't matter. Forget about that to the learning process. They seem to do little to aid the understanding of our tradition. Our tradition master narrative. And remember, who is our tradition master narrative? Our tradition master narrative is what? What's Moshe Rabbeinu? Was one that's given us, say, this is who you are. This is the law. This is the commandment. This is the statute, and this is the way you have to do what? To follow the Lord your God. Today, failure to ask such questions is tantamount to seeking into what? Into irrelevance, which means it is that if you ask such a question, it is what? It is equivalent to what? To unseriousness. Come on, this rabbi is talking nonsense. Who is this rabbi that is trying to do what? To bring down Moshe Rabbeinu? No, nobody is trying to bring down Moshe Rabbeinu. God forbid. Moshe Rabbeinu is a mighty man of faith, a mighty man of God. But remember that every mighty man has their own dark side. And we have to remember that, not only to try to do what? Sugarcoat a human being. Sugarcoat a person in the image of God. And so forgetting the image of the human that he becomes, or that he is, or was. We need to remember that every human being, even though me myself, I have my own dark side. Everybody have their own dark side. We need to remember that. And so therefore, why do we have our own dark side? Because those dark side, God is trying to point the light. That's why, what's his name? David HaMelech. David HaMelech said, God, put your touch in my dark side so that I may see. Many people, they don't see their dark side. David HaMelech prayed to God, said, God, please teach me your way, so that I may teach others. Put your light on my path so that I may see what I'm doing wrong. That is David HaMelech. So how much more we as a human being, each and every one of us has our own dark side. And so therefore we need to ask God to please put a light on that dark side so that we may do what? We may improve. The most important thing is for us to always improve. For the table have turned, and people in contemporary time begin their search for religious meaning instead of faith, by attempting to tailor a faith to their personal life, rather by fitting their life within the context of faith master narrative. Remember, I said that in the contemporary time, in the 24th century, people are searching for what? For religion, not for faith. No. Each and every person, oh, this is my religion. Oh, I am Jewish. No, I am under Judaism. No, I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. Oh, I am a Muslim. I believe in Muhammad. Or I am a Hindu. I believe in Wundi. I don't know what is the name of their God here. Whatever God that they have. I am Hindus or Buddhism or whatever it is. People try to identify, I am even within the Catholic, within the Christianity. They have, I am a Catholic. Oh, no, I am a Pentecostal. No, I am a Methodist. Oh, no, I am an Anglican. They have all kind of their version down there, right? So this is the issue. People tend to identify themselves by religion, instead of trying to understand what the Torah is saying, that no religion saves, only faith in God saves. Instead of that, to align their life with the faith of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They tell you, no, this is Old Testament. It is old. Now we have something that is new, and this is the new one. That is complete stupidity. And that is a fact. Because the Torah said, or the Tanakh said, there is nothing new under the sun. Everything is of old. So why should somebody think and say this is new? When, even though Yeshua HaMashiach said that, I have never come to destroy the Torah, that no use of the Torah will go unfulfilled. Then somebody come and say this is new. Then you have something, I don't know what to say, there's something that is wrong with such people's brain. Maybe they don't read very well. Maybe they don't see as what the Torah is saying in the book that we just read, in the book of Isaiah. How can they see? Because they don't want to see. They say this is what? This is pink or purple? This is purple, right? This is purple. And you try to tell people this is purple. They tell you no, this is black. Somebody that has made up his mind that this is black, how do you convince him that this is purple? It's very hard. Because in his mind, he has already made up his mind to say, I don't want to see. I don't want to even understand. I am not interested. So for you to try to convince him, you are just wasting your time. You are wasting your saliva. That is what the issue is. And what God is telling us, you have to follow faith, not religion. For religion does not save. Currently, unlike in the days that in the days when I was in kindergarten, one's religious quest does not begin affirming the type of life that Moshe lived. The family relation is shared, and the scope of his what of his concern. Interestingly, Parshas Yitro provides me with a glimpse of his personal side, of Moshe, which can perhaps remind us that within Torah itself, both a personal and master narrative are to be found. What fascinates me about this parasha is the family dynamics in what we read. Remember, what is the family dynamics of Moshe? You need to understand that. What is the family dynamics of Moshe? Was Moshe a loving husband? Was Moshe a good father? And in the Torah, I'm sorry to say, is the opposite. It's not. He wasn't a good father. Not a loving husband. No. The Torah gives us the complete opposite of it. Right? How can you say a man of God like in the statue of Moshe will not understand what the family is? Even though from the beginning, you can see when God called him, right? This is a man, but we need to understand, yes, it has a kind of a background too. We need to understand that it said that it is easy for God to do what? To take Israel out of Egypt. But it was hard for God himself, God Almighty, to take Egypt out of Israel. For Israel, their intestine is full Egyptians. You see, very sad, eh? Very sad. Moshe himself, Moshe Rabbeinu, has two sons, right? He did not even circumcise them. For you to understand that Moshe himself was a full Egyptian in his mind. His physical flesh might be, yeah, I'm a Jew, no, not a Jew. I'm sorry, I'm an Israelite. I'm a Hebrew man, right? Because a Jew is a people from Judah, right? So I'm an Israelite. Yeah. I'm a Hebrew man. But mentally, are you? It is not the blood alone that runs in you that is the most important, but your state of mind. Right? He didn't even circumcise them. It was then when the angel wanted to keep the two kids that the wife ran and circumcised them. It's not even the one that circumcised them, but what his wife. So because in his mind, I am fed up. I'm tired. I don't want to have anything to do with this thing. Leave me alone, God. I want to be a shepherd. Leave me, I'm 80 years old. I'm already retired, right? I'm an old man. Let me be doing with my stick. Take my, what is it? My sheep and my goat and take care of them, and me, I am good. But God has another plan for him. Say, no, that's another plan. For this reason, I have raised you up. For this reason, I have trained you as in the military in Egypt. For this reason, I have made you the general of the army of Egypt. And for this reason, I took you to go and live in the palace of Moshe, to understand, to learn all their secrets, to learn all their wisdom, all their knowledge, so that you can come and apply it to lead out your people. There is a reason for everything under the sun. Imagine after leading the people out of Egypt, experiencing the faithful moment of crossing the sea, the singing and singing God's praises as a community for the first time. What the encounter between Moshe and his wife and children would look like. Shouldn't we see a man who is overwhelmed by the events of the past few months eagerly embracing his wife and children? We would love to read of this, but unfortunately, it is not there. We should have seen a man, after what? After crossing the sea to the other side. After moving to the other side. Remember, the Hebrew people are what? Are always on the other side. We are not with the rest of the world. We will never mix with the rest of the world. We are always on the other side. After being back, after being born as a nation on the other side, shouldn't we have seen Moshe Rabbeinu? After an overwhelming event, that the wife will just run and say, "Oh, my husband," he will kiss all the kids, and the boy will say, "Oh, Papa, we thank God, we glorify God." Did we see that in the Torah? No, nothing like that in the Torah. But we read something different in the Torah. What is that we read in the Torah? In fact, what is there, sadly, is the realization that Moshe Rabbeinu and Zipporah, his wife, are likely divorced or in the process of divorcing. And that the picture of Moshe as a father is less than appealing. There is no boys welcoming their papa, where is it? Or a wife welcoming the husband. Finally, we may understand Yitro plea with Moshe as the plaintive plea of an enraged father who is amazed that his son-in-law is unable to set realistic priority in life. The idea of Yitro, the father-in-law of Moshe, is to look at Moshe. What is this that you are doing? Right? A man of 80 years old. Why can't you set a priority, realistic plan for your life? What is going on here? Because we need to know that, as I said, that the element, the basic element of a nation is what? It's a family. And if Moshe Rabbeinu himself cannot be a good father and a loving husband, then what can we copy from him? As a nation, as a family, as a people. Moshe Rabbeinu made that mistake. And God is telling us, do not make the same mistake. Family is fundamental. In our faith, number one, the most important thing in our faith is what? Is multiply. Family. A man and a woman. A man and his family and his children. Multiply the fundamental thing, the first commandment. That's a commandment. And that is what we base our life upon. Family. Family is because without family, the Torah will have been finished for a long time. Because we have family, so we can pass down the chain of command from the father to the son, from the father to the daughters, and they can pass it down to their own children. If you now come and say, okay, a man can stay together, a woman can stay together, then what is your plan? Your plan is to destroy the Torah, so that the Torah will cease to do what? To exist. Because you said, I don't care, let's destroy it. But the word of God cannot be destroyed. Notice the second verse of our parasha. After hearing all that has happened with the Israelites, Yitro, the father-in-law of Moshe, grabs his daughter to attempt a reconciliation. What is so interesting is that the language of this verse is nearly identical with the language found in Parshas in Deuteronomy chapter 24, that details the means by which biblical divorce is what is effected. The man sent the woman away from his house. Note that Yitro grabs Zipporah to accompany him to greet Moshe after she has been sent away. Remember the tone. What is written, right? In the book, in Parshas they said, if a man wants to divorce his wife, the man will send the wife away from his house. The letter, send away. And the same word was used here. After the woman has been sent away. That means that technically they've been divorced. Yes, I understand in Talmud or in Zohar. Zohar give us some spiritual understanding that wants to give us understanding why Moshe did what? Send away Zipporah. I can understand, yes, because I can read. And I read and I can see the prison. The prison gave me a lot of understanding, telling us that that for Moshe to be completely holy, that is the excuse, right? That our rabbi gave. Because I didn't read it in the Torah as a commandment. Our rabbi said that for Moshe to be completely clean, to be completely 100% clean, to be able to meet with God every time, he cannot live with a woman. That's what they said. But is that true? Only God knows, because I didn't read it like that in the Torah. So you have to be clean 100%, la 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 la. But there are a lot of people that are very clean. Let's say have their family and their wife with them. It's not evil to have your wife with you, right? That's not evil. If it is evil, God would not have created the woman in the first place, right? It is not evil. It is good. So that is the way they interpreted it. But I don't share. I can understand that, but I don't want to say that is it, because the Torah didn't say that is it. If the Torah said that is it, then the Torah said God command Moshe to divorce his wife. That's a different case, right? But the Torah never said God commanded Moshe to divorce his wife. So that was his own choice. And Torah is trying to tell us that choice is not fine, it's not good. That's what the Torah is pointing out. That is not the right choice. And God doesn't want us to make that the same mistake. Here is the moment of reconciliation. Remember, the father-in-law, Yitro, was trying to reconcile Moshe back to his wife, Zipporah, and what with the two sons. Even though if you don't want the woman again, for example, let's say, okay, Moshe doesn't want the woman again. Good. I'm not saying it's good, it's not good, but let's say, okay, he doesn't want. But what about your own sons? What about your own children? What is their sin? What is their iniquity? What did they do wrong? You can take your two sons and say, okay, the woman can go, right? If you want. That is your choice. You have your choice. But remember, we are going to account for our choice on the last day. Everybody. But why must you also kick away your two sons? Because after that, we never read anything concerning the sons of Moshe in the Torah. That was it. We don't know where these two sons are. Our rabbi, yes, I read our rabbi give us some explanation where, and so on and so forth, but I don't want to say that is it 100%. I will say that is it 100% if I read it completely in the written Torah, not in the oral Torah. Right? For a renewal of a marital relationship, as well as a resumption of his parental role. Remember that there is a responsibility. God gave each and every one of us a responsibility. Once you are married, you have to meet your marital relationship. The man and the woman, they have their own marital relationship, and as well as what? To resume your parental role. You have to parent your children. You have to take care of your children, because the children didn't fall from heaven. No, you do what? God bless you with them. And so therefore, you have to do what? To take care of your children. It is a responsibility that no one should say, okay, I don't want to do it. I have my own fault. And I'm trying all my best to make sure that I do what? I make the right choice. To correct my mistakes. As I said, everybody have a dark side. What kind of person is Moshe Rabbeinu? What kind of person is our master narrative? What kind of person is Moshe Rabbeinu? What kind of husband is this man? What kind of a father was this man? Instead, Moshe is able to engage his father-in-law only on master narratives, on the master narrative issues, unable to address either his ex-wife or children. An exasperated Yitro must have been thrown completely off guard, and in the attempt to offer one final opportunity for Moshe to reorient his life, he offers suggestion as to how Moshe can reposition himself within his role as what? As leader. That is one thing in nursing. And Abba can be a witness to that. That is a process in nursing, right? That they say if a man, or if a patient is what? Is disoriented. That is, they don't know, maybe they're delirium, maybe they can't understand when you try to measure their neuro activities. What do? If a person is disoriented, you do what? You try to reorient that person. Let's say, for example, you ask a patient that just came from a surgery, right? Because they're giving him a lot of anesthesia, right? To subdue their feeling, right? And the person just tries to wake up. He doesn't know where he is, right? Like, okay, monsieur, madam, can you tell me where you are? You can say, okay, I'm at home as a nurse. What do? Say, no. You are in the hospital. Try to reorient that person. Oh, monsieur, what can you tell me today's date? He said, today is 5. Say, no, today is not 5. Today is 11, right? You try to reorient that person to the true time, to the right time, right? You try to the right date, all right? You say, oh, monsieur, can you tell me the season that we are? Because the person is in his bed, he look at the sun. Say, oh, we are in the summer. Say, no, monsieur, we are not in the summer. We are in the what? In the winter, but the sun is just shining, right? So you try to reorient that person, and this is exactly what Yitro was trying to do to Moshe, to reorient Moshe back to what? To his marriage, to his family responsibility. That Moshe Rabbeinu, you have a responsibility. You have responsibility for these two sons and what? To your wife, because I have given you this woman as a wife. Yitro tell Moshe, you take on too much of their problems. You can't survive this way. Meaning, of course, that you can't live a life that is going to be full and blessed if you choose to live, it in isolation from the rest of the world. You cannot live an isolated life. There is a saying among my people that is that a tree does not make a forest. Trees make forests, not just one tree. So you cannot live in isolation. You cannot say, you know what, I am alone and the rest, I am an island and the rest, I don't care. No. And this is exactly what Yitro was trying to do, the advice he's trying to give to Moshe Rabbeinu. You cannot live an isolated life. You cannot live a life that is alone. You have to try to encourage and bring back all the people as a community as one together with you. Unlike Aaron, let's see the difference between Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron Kohen Gadol. Unlike Aaron, his senior brother, who maintains a relationship with his children throughout his life. Moshe has no more contact with his children after this moment. The beautiful midrash that is found detailing how God was the responsible party for handling Moshe's funerals. Arrangement is made necessary by the fact that after his brother and his sister have died, he is sadly left with little family to attend to such matter. Luckily for Moshe, Moshe has God. Let's look at the difference between him and his brother. Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, has his family with him by his side, has relationship with his children. The family of Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, is so firm, is so strong. The family background is so strong. The family relationship is so strong compared to that of Moshe Rabbeinu, that is so loose, and after that, there is nobody, Nobody to take care of him. After the death of Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, after the death of Miriam, Moshe was just standing alone. No more family member. No person again. Right? Only him. Thank God he has God. It was God that handled his funeral. It was God that helped him. How most people can claim that? You know, if there is no God on his side, then who's going to handle the ceremony? Who's going to help him? Because remember, it's not only the entire nation, but the most important, the elementary thing is the family. The family that has to be there. But there was no family. Nobody. The Torah didn't tell us anything about his sons anymore. Remember, Abraham Avinu, when they died, when they passed to the world beyond, the Torah said Isaac and Ishmael came to bury their father. Right? They came to put the last sand on the face of their father. It's extremely important. I can't even overemphasize it, my people. If you have your children, if you have a daughter, your son, you have to reconcile with them. If you have your son, no matter what, no matter the kind of differences that might be between you, it is extremely important. Family is the basic. Because at the last day, at the last time, they should be there to send you to the world and beyond. Without them, it's not good. It's not good. The Torah said, and Isaac, when Isaac died, his sons came to bury him. Esau, right? Esau came. And who came again? Jacob was there. Esau and Jacob were both there to do what? To bury their father. And when Jacob Avinu died, what happened? The Torah said his 12 sons came to do what? To bury him. But when the sad thing is, when Moshe Rabbeinu died, no family, no boy, no woman, not even his brothers and his sisters, nobody, only God on his side. So we need to see this, that Torah is giving us the understanding. Moshe has his own dark side. Moshe has his own negative side. And God is telling us this morning, this moment, that we as a child of God, we as a student of the Torah that was given on Mount Sinai, has to do what? Has to amend our way, our path. Family, I cannot overemphasize, family is number one. Without family, there is no Torah. There is nothing. Zero. Family is one. We need to amend our ways. We need to reconcile with our family. We need to reconcile with our sons. We need to reconcile with our daughters. We need to reconcile with our children. Because they will be the one to put the last sand on our face when the time comes. And then you can go up to the Garden of Eden in joy, in happiness, that your children are there to send you out. We learn much. We learn much about Moshe Rabbeinu. In many ways, he is a model of faithful servant. He is a giant in faith and love for his people. Yet, perhaps, unbeknownst to her, some 35 years ago, Morah Toby taught me, that is what the rabbi said, Rabbi Allen, taught me something powerful about why Moshe didn't enter the promised land. He never learned to set his priority in order and accept the responsibility nearest and dearest to him, creating a loving family with a beloved partner. That is the problem. The people say, oh, Moshe Rabbeinu did not enter the promised land because he sinned, right? Because he did not obey the commandment of God. Yes, because he did not say to the stone, produce water, but he strike the stone. But Rabbi Allen is saying another thing. Rabbi Allen is trying to give us another spiritual undertone, spiritual understanding why Moshe did not make it to the promised land. Because Moshe Rabbeinu did not set his priority right. Moshe Rabbeinu is much concerned about Israel, forgetting about his responsibility. He said, a man that does not have, how can a man give what he doesn't have? You can't give what you don't have. You can only give what you have. Moshe Rabbeinu, our master. Moshe Rabbeinu, our teacher. Forgot his responsibility. He forgot his children. He forgot his partner. He forgot his wife. He doesn't care. He said, okay, my main concern now is about my people. It's about Israel. He said, yeah, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. Yes, it's good. But the more important, the most dearest, most important to you as a person is your family. It's your wife. It's your children. That is number one that you have to take care of. He neglects his responsibility. And remember, God talk about responsibility. If you don't have responsibility, then there's a problem. Because God is telling you, face, take care of it. It's like the people, as always give an example. You say, oh, I have that somebody, one man died for me. Right? I know some religion, right? They say, a man died for me, then I forgive my sin, then I am clean, hallelujah. Right? No? That is good. I have no responsibility. And it's nonsense. There is nothing like that in the Torah. From the beginning of creation, God always talk about responsibility. Adam, you are responsible for the garden. I created the garden and handed over it to you. And so your job is to take care of the garden. Clean it, make it neat, make sure that everything is in order. That's responsibility. What the man did, we mess it up. Right? So God is telling us we have to be responsible no matter what. And if you are not responsible, then you have a problem. You are not a true student of the Torah. Moshe neglected his responsibility. And so, he faced the consequence of his action. When he died, there was nobody there. It was only God. So, we need to make sure that we face our responsibility as a human being. Yes, Moshe Rabbeinu is a mighty man of faith. He's a mighty man, a great teacher that taught us the wisdom, the knowledge, and everything, the path to the tree of life, which the Torah is. Torah is the tree of life, is the water of life. Remember that when you drink, you will never thirst again. Yeshua said, I will give you the water, and with that water, when you drink, you will never thirst again. And the water is the Torah. When you drink the Torah, instead of you being thirsty spiritually, you will never thirst again. For the water will be a living water flowing inside you every time. So we need to understand this particular moment that, please, I just beg each and every one of us in the name of God to please, let's make our path straight, especially our family, our children. Let's make reconciliation, and that if we are separated from them in one way or the other, let's reconcile back. Family, I can't not overemphasize that. Family is number one. Your wife, your husband is one. You are one. And before God, you are one. Parshas, Yitro. I know many people, many synagogues, they talk about the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not, I am the Lord your God, thou shalt not have any. Today, that is what everybody will talk about. Right? How God saved everybody, the commandment, the fire that burned on the mountain, everything. That is awesome. That is beautiful. That is great. But there is something rotting under that we need to understand, to address. The problem that we have to address. And this is the problem of what? Trying to neglect, trying to close our eyes. I don't want to see. I don't see. But if we put our head like an ostrich, you know, an ostrich is the biggest bird in the world. You know, put his head inside the sand. Oh, I don't want to see. You know, because, I stay there. So, but when the ostrich brings out his head, the problem is still standing. The problem is not moving anywhere. It's not going nowhere. Even though no matter how you put your head in the sand for 10 years, for 20 years, for a million years, the problem is standing. It's not going nowhere. As soon as you put on your head, you see the problem. So it is better for us to solve that problem. To make sure that problem is over. Then when we stand up, we can stand erect. Remember, man is created erect. Man is never created like this. No. You see, on that day, on the day of judgment, we will stand individually erect before God. Stand upright. And you will see, you know the weight? You see the weight. And everybody will be weighed. Are you doing right? Are you doing wrong? Is everything good? If you balance up, okay, good. You proceed. And if it's like this, then you have a problem, and you face the consequence of your action. Parasha Yitro. What kind of a person was Moshe Rabbeinu? Was Moshe Rabbeinu a loving father? Was Moshe Rabbeinu a caring husband? The Torah tells us the opposite. But Torah doesn't want us to make the same mistake. He wants us to live our life full, with blessed, with peace, with joy, with enjoyment, with our family, with our children, saying that yes, we have to pass the Torah to them because they are the next in command. Parasha Yitro. Shabbat Shalom.